Oh shit, it actually started. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. I couldn't start my stream again. It kept giving me this bullshit error over and over and over again. Excuse me. Let me blow my actual nose. Almost forgot to unmute. Cigars. Why does it never put the loot in front of me? Stop fishtailing, that's not how bikes work. Stop! Oh my god, why is this fucking happening? I'm not even turning that much half of the time. I tap in the opposite direction and it fucking whips. Why? Why was this not happening last night?
Yo, what's up? Have you done the summit?
Yep. I'm trying to farm for double boost parts so I can do the bike a little bit better. Because I didn't have double boost in rally raid vehicles yet.
What is your points?
What position am I in? I'm like 1,800 or something. I don't know how many points I have though.
Yo, by the way, I was in another stream of yours on last summit.
What do you mean? Rising Sun Strikes Back Again is the current one in North America.
You streamed during last summit. I was watching then.
Oh, sorry, I misheard.
It was like 1 hour left of it.
Yeah, I'm 1,853. I can't check my points unless I go to the HQ. I mean, I need to go there anyways to pick up some items, so.
I am currently 264th.
I'm guessing you used co-op on some of the things then? Because some of them are impossible to get high scores on unless you have co-op. Like the drag race and stuff like that. Yeah, and my GSX, I can't drive this car for whatever reason. I suck at driving it, so I lose so much time. However, I'm good at drifting.
Only on speed, trap, and drag.
Yeah, I'm all solo dolo. For solo, I'm pretty high though. But I could be higher. There's another person who comes by my streams who's like in the top 1,000 or so regularly. And he only does stuff solo. He has like 130,000 on the GSX without the skip, without the super skip. If you don't know, there's like a crazy hard, super difficult to do skip on that race, which saves like 10 seconds. You can't tell me the times. I don't know what times mean in terms of score, dude. Score is what matters. Like, I couldn't tell you what time I did it in, honestly. Is that really all? I thought they were gonna have a new bundle. Oh, in 24 hours. Right. Wait, is that the Thunderwave edition? Honestly, it's the least impressive looking Summit car. Wait, what? What is that car called? Hold on, I need to go check what the next Summit is. Yeah, 131,000. That's insane. A Jesco hypercar. And I need a Lamborghini touring car. That's right. I have to go buy one. Do they have it buyable yet? Like they had with the Subaru? Oh, I could just go like this. There you go. Oh, yes. Oh my God, it's $2 million. Well, I won't be competing in the next summit. Who likes hypercars anyways? Such a nerd machine. Hyper nerd. God, stop giving me sniffer. Back to the douche dunes. I wish I could get that many points on some of the summit races. I'm just not that consistent. The only thing I'm even remotely consistent with is drifting. And that's because I'm always best at the weirdest thing in a video game. Neo, I was good at key pulsing and flexing, like, right off the beginning. Which most people never even bother to learn the entire game. Sorry, I got 156,000 points on Drift. The actual score was like, I think 630,000? 635,000 or something like that. But I could do that consistently. That's not even that hard. I struggle with the fact that I have no idea where people get 800,000 points from. I don't know how people get 180,000 extra points over what I get when I do it flawlessly, pretty fast, and I have broken parts because my parts were pre-nerf. And my parts still have the old value plus the buffed value. I'll show you what I mean. I don't know if it actually counts or not. Maybe it's just, it shows the numbers, but they don't actually have an effect, sort of thing. But regardless, these are all 1410. And you can't get 10% anymore. I'm just doing the same rally raid race over and over again, man. Scorebreaker doesn't affect drifts, sadly. It's just there for flavor because it was a combination set. Those came as a reward for a summit. A platinum reward for a summit, if I remember correctly. Back again before they nerfed the drift hothead part so you couldn't get 10%. If you want help getting money, just do what I'm doing and do races. Because I'm trying to get money as well. There's a couple really easy races, which are basically, you can't lose when you race them. And this is one of those races. Just get a bike and just drive over the hills and just boost anytime you're in the air and you'll win. You can even use a bike with like 20 to 30 minus performance parts that are required to race this, and you'll still beat it by like 15 to 20 seconds. It may not make a ton of money, but it's decently fast and easy to win. You can fuck up a lot and still come in first place with a fully a not max upgraded vehicle. It's one of the best races that they added into the game. That's why I do it. I also normally run street races, but I'm also trying to get Nitro Chemist on my rally raids. Because even after doing it a ton, I still never got a full set of Nitro Chemist. Oh no. Oh no. I wish the rally raid maps in this game were more like test drive off-road maps. If anyone has even played those games. I feel like such a boomer when I talk about stuff like that now, because I have to remember that people who are 20 years old might not have played stuff like that. Or even know what the Test Drive series is. Before Test Drive Unlimited and shit. One of the best songs in the entire game. Reminds me of something that would have been in like the SSX games. The Test Drive off-road games, if you didn't know, had like secluded racetracks. There was no open world map sort of thing until Wide Open, because they made Test Drive off-road Wide Open, which was the same as the previous games with a more neutered upgrade system. What's funny is, despite the fact that people call stuff like the neutering of video game mechanics and the simplification of games a modern game thing, I can attest to older video games doing the same exact shit as they went further and further on. So the earlier test drive games, you would upgrade the individual components of the vehicle, and it wouldn't change a whole lot visually about it. Whereas in the later test drive games, you would have 4 settings that each vehicle could be at. That would be stock, modified, pro, and unlimited. And unlimited was basically just a Baja truck version of that vehicle, which you could say emulates kind of how the Crew original game did it, where you have a vehicle that changes instead of having 4 different of the same vehicle and labeling it a different vehicle. This is the Rally Raid edition. This is the Rally Cross edition. And stuff like that. I don't know, I always have a soft spot for those games, because they always had really, I wouldn't necessarily call them weird maps, but maps that would never make a lot of sense given modern day stuff, but they also would be really cool to see realized in a modern day environment. But the sad part is that most of the companies who used to make those games are either defunct or are a part of a bigger corrupt corporation now. And most of the people who originally worked at those original companies now are either leading their own indie company, like some of the people with Command and Conquer and shit like that, or you have like the Bugbear, the Bugbear employees that do Wreckfest and stuff like that, that used to be more bigger corporate kind of teams. You have stuff like THQ, which got like evaporated, and all of their games are awesome. THQ, sorry, I'm taking a second because I wanted to eat something, but I just wanted to speak for a second. THQ made a really cool PlayStation 2 Twisted Metal-like game called Crush Hour, which used North American WWE and WWF wrestlers as the characters for the cars and designed cars based on their personality. Yes, this is a game that existed. The Undertaker drove a motorcycle, obviously. Kevin Nash drove like an 18-wheeler giant thing. Rob Van Dam had like a four-wheeler that was really fast and agile but weak. Rey Mysterio, I can't even remember what his car was. And then you had like Booker T, Brock Lesnar, Kane, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Pretty much all the wrestlers at the time, they had a car. And then you had unlockable cars and like female wrestlers as well. So like Vince McMahon had a fucking limousine. But it was basically just a Twisted Metal clone, with an obnoxious announcer that repeats the same voice lines every 12 seconds. Triple H has the Twisty Rockets. Trish Stratus has acquired the Annihilator. Everybody better watch out. And it just... They don't make fucking games like that anymore, just for the sake of a fun game. You never see fun games anymore that are both real licensed games with real people with their real voices in it, but are also secondarily a complete joke of a game. Because nowadays, if Crush Hour tried to exist, people would call it like insultive to the industry or some dumb bullshit. And again, that's a game that... Oh. What are you doing with a Viper out here, dude? He's a snake. He's biting me. He's gonna swallow me whole. Snake. Oh. He gone. I don't know. I hate the fact that games like this are bound by real physics. And it doesn't have more outlandish, like, GTA 5 online type tracks in it, where it's just the wooden ramps and shit built into loops, or giant wooden platforms going over the tops of buildings and shit. There's like so much potential, and it's drive on this road in the middle of nowhere that goes in a vaguely S pattern for around 3 minutes. And that's what most of the races are in the crew too. With some of them being really fun, like I said, I like Coral Gables. Coral Gables is the only track where it feels like the people designing it actually thought about the roads going into the track. And actually allowing it to have shortcuts that are built into the environment like Need for Speed games. Instead of straight line, one lane road going for 15 miles. I can't stand those tracks, and that's every Summit track that they've introduced, bar a couple. That being said, it's not like they're bad. I just don't like that style of racing. I don't like point-to-points. I'm a circuit racer. And I suck at circuit racing, but it's just what I prefer doing. If I struggle learning the turns on a track that only has 8 turns, what the fuck am I gonna do on a track that has 60 different turns? Because that's the way you have to look at a point-to-point. And if you're a god-tier enough driver where that doesn't matter, then so be it. But it's like that. It's one of the reasons why I suck at the Eclipse race and the Summit. I just can't do that stuff good. On top of, I just can't drive that car good. I don't know why. I've tried many different people's tunings. I've watched people's videos and stuff. People make it look so fucking easy. As per usual. 1 second though, I need to mute my mic. Alright, I'm back. Not really, man. I know a lot of people like to play by themselves, and I hate being one of those people, but I am just... Is it rude to say that I just don't like dealing with people a lot of the time? Especially because every time I do it, it's normally some guy just using a meta vehicle. Just cruising, and I'm like, what's the point of you playing with me? You're just gonna only use the Lamborghini Huracan in Street Race. Yeah, I don't have double NOS though. If I hold it in the air, I'm gonna have none for the next jump. And skipping is way more important than just holding it in the air. It's not like I'm competing for time, dude. I'm just trying to beat it. If I was competing for time, I would have reset earlier when I fishtailed off the beginning. And really, you get way more benefit out of the NOS if you only do it once you're close to the ground, because falling at a faster rate is better a lot of the time. If you boost when you come off of a jump, you're going to stay in the air longer going vertically instead of going down. So it's better to jump, and then once you're on your downwards trajectory, then boost. You'll get more effectiveness out of the boost when you don't have double NOS to waste. Because then you're just sending all of your momentum into the ground and not upwards. Because the game makes you float when you boost when you're in midair. That's why I said I like to save to hold the button so that when I get to a point where I can skip, I can just hold it down and you'll just skip across the surface of them. But that doesn't always happen with certain sections on that map. You gotta bounce just right. If you watch some of the guys who do the like super fast runs, that's what they'll do. Is they'll boost a little bit off the jump to get the speed. Yeah, with double NOS, dude. When you have Nitro Chemist, yeah. I do not have Nitro Chemist, which is why I am doing this race right now. If I just hold down my boost, look what's gonna happen. Look at what happens. Now I don't have enough boost to actually get myself to max speed when I actually do go off of a big jump. Because I do not have ventilated and I do not have nitrochemist. Believe me, I understand what I am doing. The only thing I suck at is the actual handling and turning part. And like I said, and you can watch my speedometer, doing it on the descent is more effective than doing it when you come off of the jump immediately. You gain way more speed waiting a half a second. Try it yourself. You'll see the speed guys do it as well. The A-Core guy is where I learned to do it from, because that's what he does. And he's like a top fucking 50 player every single fucking summit. If you just hold it off of the jump, you're gonna spend unneeded time in the air. Like I said, I'm aware of how the physics and the what you need to do. I do not have the parts for it. Secondarily, I am not good at handling the vehicles. So it wouldn't matter even if I did it properly. I'm not competing for a world record here. I'm trying to farm nitrochemist. If you do not have nitrochemist, then you have ventilated on your stuff. You do not just magically regenerate tons of boost from being in the air.
2, 1.
You can double copy paste those things. I understand how stats work in this game. You cannot just infinite NOS. You are watching an upgraded vehicle right now. Like, I can't believe you're saying this and acting like it can happen. This is holding it in the air. And I go down to 0. There's no infinite NOS unless you have shit built for it. What are you saying? The thing you might be better at doing than a lot of other people is handling the fucking vehicles. Because most of these vehicles on the rally raid handle like absolute dog shit. And it's RNG just to get them to go in a straight line half of the time. Most players know about the boosting in air trick. However, most players cannot control these fucking vehicles worth a damn. You see how many people watch Acor's Summit stuff on a regular basis? You think most of the people competing don't know how to boost jump? If you have infinite NOS, then you've re-rolled parts. It doesn't work like that, dude, unless you've literally hacked or broken the game via a glitch. Plus, I don't know why you give a shit. I've told you 500 times, I'm farming for Nitrochemist. Unless you have some secret magical tip as to how to not make bikes fishtail, you're telling me old news, bud. I'm not the person to watch if you want to see high-level racing. I'm the person you watch if you want to see someone who has below average skills be in the top 3,000 every week. So you can wonder how the fuck this fucking retard managed to get in the top 3,000. And laugh at me in the process. Oh my god, stop. Stop fishtailing, please. Yeah, but Acor has 40,000 people that watch his fucking stuff almost every week. Well, you're just saying you have infinite NOS. You're not being like, yeah, if you put ventilated on your whatever, then you can do it easily or something. Like, just saying, if I told you how to garden, and I went, yeah, just get some soil, dude. What type of soil? Then why aren't you streaming right now? Why are you watching a fucking loser like me? I have to go pick up the loot at the HQ. Because it doesn't put the loot in front of you after this race. Because of the stupid rocks. I'm a self-deprecating kind of person. My channel is called The Salty Dob. Not the rainbow fairy. Here you can see what my points are so far. Rally rate I don't have nitrochemist for. It would be a lot higher if I did. Gamer tag, I'm on PS4. Plus, like I was saying earlier to the other guy, I prefer to play alone because of who I am. I don't want you to be doing racing with me. I'm the type of person who has to retry a street race 20 times because I crash to the second turn every time. Just the frickin' Eclipse race, getting past the frickin' the U-turns at the start. It took me an hour and a half 2 days ago to beat one rallycross race on Ace difficulty. And I only beat it because the AI that was kicking my ass crashed off the beginning. In a party, that wouldn't be me because I don't go around into other people's parties. And definitely not one on bikes because I hate bikes. I'm one of those people that is just like, why is there no supermoto discipline? Why is there drag racing but no supermoto? Who the fuck wants drag racing anymore? Like, I'm being honest. I understand it is a vital motorsport in real life, but in real life there's a lot of mechanicry and like engineering that goes into making a drag car that doesn't exist in a video game. And it just becomes press R2 and R1 at the specific times for that car. And then you do good speed. Make sure you have double boost and friend to draft. And it just... It boils everything down in the gameplay to basically a Dark Souls boss that lasts 5 seconds. Oh shit, sorry. I'm on PS4 though, like I said. If you're on PS4, you can feel free to add me. But like I said, I prefer... Oh shit. What? I could have swore I pressed square. Or... There we go. Oh, god damn it, that means I'm here now. Son of a bitch. That's my name right there. I know you can barely see it. There you go. The hitches. He tried to itch his nose. Hitch itch. Good old PS4 Pro optimization. We can still play sometime. The drag races I don't have a problem with co-oping on. The drag races and speed traps I'll make an exception because it's literally impossible to get a good score otherwise. With the races, I can accept the fact that I'm just trash at racing myself. With the drag races, it's just, it doesn't matter how hard I try. Even if I get a perfect run, it's not going to be better than two idiots drafting each other. That's why I like whenever a summit has a drift in it. If a summit has a drift in it, it's almost guaranteed that I get to win. Because that's the only thing in this game that I can do anywhere decently. I used to beat the races with a stock RX-7 on ace mode just for the challenge of doing it. Which is possible, by the way. Some people will say that it's not, but you can. You can beat all of the base difficulty. You can beat all of the ace difficulty races with an unupgraded stock drift car. You just have to combo the entire thing from start to finish. The RX-7 is the best stock car to do it in. At least in my opinion. They haven't really added a drift car that has been too impressive to me. I pretty much just like the rough in the RX-7. The rough is better for higher speed maps. The RX-7 is better for low speed maps. For how I play. I'm sure people who get the records would argue that the RX-7 is the only good one. Or the what is it, the GT500, because of the fact it gets way more score for a less angled drift than other cars in some instances, or whatever it was. All I know is the thing got a lot of points for no fucking reason. I don't have that? What? Is that a Summit car? What the Franconia? Now I can't get it back. God damn it, that sucks. I could have just driven the new car. That's a new something that they're adding. I've never seen that listed there. God damn it. I'm gonna go load here, quit the summit, and then load back to the HQ and see if I get the RNG gods to give me that same car there. Wow, it's so fucking dark. Oh, never mind. Whoops. You still there? No. At least I don't think he is. That's crazy that that other person that played the crew 2 with that guy who was in my chat was also named Dustin, apparently. Because my name is Dustin, but that's not, I've never had an online name that uses my real name, even though I tell people what my real name is. I just do it in case people want to call me a nickname, because some people do call me Dob. Dobby. Hey, Dobby. Dobby. You gotta like crook your entire mouth when you say it. You gotta like little nicky it. Dobby. Sorry, I went out to have a smoke real quick. It's supposed to be cold this next week or so. I have to probably bring some of these plants in. I'm surprised at how well this one plant has done in this pot where I haven't been able to add really any fertilizer to it. It's been in there for 2 years. It's called muskmallow. Grows as a invasive weed around here, so I pulled it out of the ground and put it as a pot. Excuse me, potted plant. Because it actually looks very ornamental when you trim it and you keep it small and force it to continually make new little branch nodes. Because it has this, I believe they call it leaf dimorphism, or dimorphic leaf structure, meaning most of the leaves are shaped differently than one another. The bottom leaves, or the immature leaves, start out as little scallop-shaped leaves, or look like a spade almost, kind of. A rounded, clubby kind of spade. And then as they get older, the spade kind of gets like inlays, and it kind of splits into a more pronounced structure. And then as the plant gets taller and taller and more mature and it gets hot out, the leaves get thin near the top. Whoa, the wind. The wind. But it looks really cool because people tend to think it's like 2 to 3 different plants put together, but it's not. It just has a stack of crazy different looking foliage. And then in the summer, you can let it grow up a little bit and it will put out little pink flowers. Give me 1 second. And then I want to try doing the Eclipse race again. Alright, let's go. Right. Crikey. I don't think that was the smartest decision. Damn you, stupid AI. I do like the same times every time. I wish I could see the ghost of someone who does it like fucking 10 seconds faster than me, so I could see where I'm losing all my speed.